Hey guys, so it is about 3:30 on Thursday afternoon. It's February 2nd, and I am just going to do a quick video on sale price and discount. If you were here today, we pretty much got through all of our notes. I just left off one example that we didn't get to, but if you were not here, this would be very helpful to help you get caught up. Like I've said, we are going through this stuff really quick, so it's going to be really important that you are responsible to go watch these videos and get your notes so you can be in good shape to take your quiz. So we're just going to jump right in. So yesterday we were talking about tax and tip and how we would calculate the tax based on our subtotal, and then we would add that onto we would find the tax and we would add it onto our total to get our final total. So you'll see that sale price and discount works pretty similarly. We're going to be going through pretty much the same process, and I think if you found that tax and tip were pretty simple, then you should be in good shape for sale price and discount. So you guys probably know that sales and discounts are going to make the cost of our purchases go down. When you're at the store, they have a 50% off discount. That's going to mean that whatever the cost of your item was, it's going to be 50% less, and it's going to be less expensive than it was. So we also need to look at the difference between the sale price and the discount, because they're not the same thing. So the discount is the amount of the price that is taken away from the original price. Okay, so if we say something is 50% off, the discount is the amount of money that we are removing from the original cost or subtracting from the original cost. So like it says, the discount is the amount of the price that's taken away from the original price. Okay, so it's not what we actually pay, but it's what we are subtracting from the original price. So the sale price is going to be the total amount once the discount has been subtracted from the original price. So, if we had an item that was $20 and it was 50% off, we would know that, well, 50% of 20 is 10, so $10 off is our discount. So our sale price would end up being $10 because we would subtract 10 from 20 and we would be left with 10. So the discount is what you're subtracting, and the sale price is your final amount after you've subtracted. Okay? So let's go ahead and jump right into an example. So let's say we have a pair of shoes that costs $87.95, and they're on sale for 40% off. So what you'll see is that the process, yawning, the process for finding the discount and the sale price is very similar to finding the tax and the tip. So the first thing we did yesterday was change the percent to a decimal, and that's the same thing we're going to do here. So our discount is 40%, the 40% off. So we're going to change that to a decimal. So 40% written as a decimal is 0.40. Okay? And then the next thing that we did was multiply the discount by the original price. Or yesterday we multiplied the tax by the original price. Okay? So we're going to multiply the discount by the original price. And then we'll find that the discount is $35.18 off. So 40% of $87.95 is $35.18. So that's the amount that we're going to take away from our original price. So that's our discount. So to find our sale price, we're going to take our original price, subtract the discount, and that will give us our sale price. Okay, so instead of adding, like yesterday, we would add the tax onto our original price, we're going to be subtracting the discount because we're getting to take that away. Okay, so it's pretty simple, really the same process up until this last step. You're just going to be subtracting instead of adding. All right, so let's look at another example. All right, so let's say we're walking into a furniture store and you're looking to buy a sofa, and you happen to see one that is $789, but it's 60% off. So, you know, that store maybe is going out of business, so it's got this crazy sale where this sofa is going to be 60% off. So that's more than half of what the original cost is off. All right, so the first thing we did was we changed our percent to a decimal. So 60% written as a decimal would be 0.60. Okay, and then the next thing that we did was we multiplied the discount times our original price. And when we do that, we get $473.40. And that's going to be our discount. So $473.40 is what we get to subtract from our original price. That's what that 60% off is talking about. It means we get to take off $473.40. So that's a pretty good discount. Okay, and then the last thing we're going to do is we're going to take our original price, subtract the discount, and what's left will be our sale price. That's what we're going to end up paying. Now this is what we're going to pay before tax is added to it, but this is just the basic cost, or the base cost before we add tax. So with that discount, it's going to make it $315.60. Okay? Now the next example we're going to look at, I'll go ahead and put it up, says a shirt that was $26 is on sale for $15. What is the discount or the percent off? So for this one, instead of being given the original price and the discount, we're going to have to figure out what percent off was that discount. Okay? So the way that we're going to do that is we're going to use this familiar proportion. We're going to use is over of equals percent over 100. And you can kind of think of it like, instead of saying is over of, you can say is over was. Because what we're going to end up doing is put what the current price of the shirt is on top, so what it is, and then on the bottom we're going to say what the cost was. Okay, and we're going to be looking for the percent, so we're not going to know what that is, so we'll put a variable there. Okay, so when we set it up, we're going to write it as 15 over 26 is equal to n over 100. And you guys know we just took a quiz on this. You're going to cross multiply, and you'll get 26n equals 1500. Now when you divide, you've got to make sure to divide by the number that's being multiplied by n. We had a lot of people on the quiz think that you always divide by 100, and you don't do that. So if we divide both sides by 26, after we round to the nearest hundredth, we should get 57.69% off, and that would be our discount. Okay, so you will have to know not only how to find the sale price in this example, but also how to find the discount or the percent off. Okay? So let's look at one more example, and this is one that I didn't get to in class. So even if you were here and you wanted a little bit of a refresher, this will be good for you just to see one more example. And this is going to be another example where we're trying to solve for the discount. Okay, so in this example, it says a necklace was $47 and now costs $18. What is the discount? So a necklace was $47 and now costs $18. What is the discount? So if we use that proportion, we can set it up like is over was equals percent over 100. So the necklace right now costs $18. So that's what I'm going to put on the top. And then it was $47. So that's going to go on the bottom. And we don't know what the percent off or the discount was, so that's going to be our variable. Okay? So then we're going to cross multiply, and we'll get 47n equals 1,800. Okay? So then you can take your calculator and you can say 1,800, and we're going to divide both sides by 47, not by 100. We're multiplying 47 times n, so we need to divide by 47 on both sides to get the n by itself. Okay? So when I do 1,800 divided by 47, I would get, if I round to the hundredths, I would get 38.3%. And that'll be 38.3% off. So about 38% off. Okay? So that's pretty much all I have. The homework for today, in your homework packet, kind of towards the back, it's one of the last few pages, there is this sheet here that says percent word problems. So if you'll be here tomorrow, we are going to have a quiz on tax and tip. So some of these questions are going to be good review for tax and tip. But on the front, I'm having you do 1 through 4, and then 7 and 8, so 6 on the front. And then on the back, you're going to do 9 through 13 and 15.
Eduardo Villa, your right is up front. Eduardo Villa, your right is up front.
We almost made it without any intercom interruptions. So yeah, you're going to do the 6 on the front and then these 6 on the back. And I'll try to remember to post that on Schoology so that you know exactly what to do for homework. So yeah, that is all I've got for you guys today. Good luck studying and doing your homework, and I will see you soon.